Now we review Velma Episode 3. Velma Kai! Like Cobra Kai, only Velma. Oh, at least we get to see lesbians wrestling. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I have seen the third episode of the Scooby-Doo prequel Velma. It is not as cringeworthy as the others, although I am still not compelled to continue watching for any reason other than to make these reviews. I wish to be clear on that. In this particular episode, we have Velma and Daphne have felt their lesbian touch, and now there is a school fighting tournament to teach women self-defense. And they want it to culminate in the two of them going head-to-head at the end, all right? So there's that. And then, of course, Norville, a.k.a. Black Shaggy, is doing some mental health things and some snooping around Fred, who is in jail. He's got those two storylines. The chick fights are kind of just meh. There is a strong emphasis on mental health. Oh, by the way, for every 1,000 subscribers I do purchase one of these bracelets from the company 4Ocean. 4Ocean pulls a pound of trash out of the ocean every time I do that. I want to create a better world for everyone, and you can help me do it. Anyway, so the main storyline, there's a lot about lesbianism and violence, which is weird, and, you know, Velma and Daphne sort of hashing out their relationship. Very symbolic, really. It's something about the internal and external struggles of a pubescent female trying to come to grips with her true feelings and what she's really into. They're both technically bi at this point. Now then you've got Norville, who is trying to find out more about what Fred knows about Velma's mother's disappearance. And his father, of course, being a therapist of some kind, he starts administering therapy to the prisoners at the prison, which is really cool. And quite frankly, Norville is much braver than the Shaggy character of other series. He is much more together and not as happy-go-lucky or cowardly, but I have to admit that as a character, he's growing on me. I don't think he feels very Shaggy. I'm going to be clear on that. But as a character, I like him. I'm just saying that if I met this person in real life, I would probably want to spend some time. I would want to hang with them because they seem cool. They're into the things I'm into, you know. They're that kind of person. I mean, it's like they try exotic foods. So do I, man. They're into psychology. I'm into psychology. One of the things that was expressed in this episode, which is a total falsehood, is that therapists make a lot of money. They don't. Analysts, psychoanalysts make a lot of money. Freud was a psychoanalyst. He made a lot of money. A psychoanalyst, you're not going to have a lot of patience. And in fact, early mental health, starting at the Freudian era, was very much for rich people. Okay? So it's like, you know, Freud, I think he had 5 or 6 patients at a time. He patiented them for 7 years. And I mean, you know, this is a full-time doctor, sees you 3 times a week. You are either really, really sick, or you have a lot of money for this free association. There was another guy, I forget his name, Jung, I think? Carl Jung. I think he was the flower power guy, you know, the guy who made the flower power symbol. And what he would actually do is he would take his patients out on a yacht on the harbor and be out there in this very serene environment. And he would get them to interact with each other. But yes, okay, modern mental health workers are overworked, underpaid, and under a lot of stress themselves. I mean, I know this. I have dealt with them a lot in my personal life, in my working with the homeless. So mental health is no joke, which is a theme of this episode, but they get it wrong, man. Mental health workers are they're like security guards. Nobody takes them seriously, and they're normally underpaid. All right, so there's that. So all in all, this episode is better than the first and second, as it is not as cringeworthy. Okay? It's still pretty silly. And, it's still not very Scooby-Doo. So look, if you're a fan of this series, if you could get through the first episode without turning it off, which, I really had to force myself to do. In fact, I sit at my computer, I work on other things, and I watch this. But if you're a fan of the previous episodes, this probably will feel like a step up. If you are not, it's still not very good. Anyway, that is just my opinion, and I would love to hear yours down in the comments below. I, of course, am Richard. Greetings, folks. Fred the Facehugger here, reminding you to comment, like, and subscribe. And why should you do that? Because for every 1,000 subscribers, Random Street Theater here will pull a pound of trash out of the ocean. That's through the company 4Ocean. And why? Why do we pull trash out of the ocean? Because your world is dying. Care about your world, comment, like, and subscribe. It's not that hard.